Thank you for taking the time and meet us here in Greece.
Thanks for having us.
What was the inspiration behind the upcoming new album?
Maybe Tomi can start this one.
Yeah, maybe I can start. I don't know what was the inspiration for the guys who composed music for this album. Maybe everything around us. We've been touring a lot during the years, and we have done many albums. So yeah, and luckily we had plenty of songs when we started. We had like over 20 demos before we entered the studio. We have a guy doing lyrics for us outside of the band. His name is Pekka Kainuainen, and he wrote all the lyrics for this album again. And this is not like a theme album. It's just stories and poems. Maybe there's some kind of connection between the lyrics that might be something like getting power from the history. Maybe Pekka Kainuainen also used a lot of his dreams as an inspiration. And we also gathered together with Pekka and we had a little talk before he started to do lyrics. And we just talked about life in general, what's going on around the world and what's going on in our personal lives. And I think that's also a good inspiration or a big inspiration for him when he starts to write lyrics. I think he also uses his art. He's also like a painter and performance artist. So he takes lots of inspiration from different parts of life in general. And it's always fun to see or read what he comes up to. And this time it was really mystical how well the music and the lyrics worked together in the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think musically the inspiration can be anything really, like compositional perspective. It can be anything from everyday life, like the music we listen to influences from other kind of music, all kinds of music really, and nature and stuff like that. Really, everyday life is, and perhaps some of the influence might even come from our past music.
Which track do you feel best represent the new album, the spirit of the new album?
You mean just one song?
Yes, one.
I don't know. Of course, I have my favorites, but I'm not sure if they give like a great picture of the whole album. I think the first singles, they give you some kind of idea what's going on here on this album. We have released 2 songs now. The first one was it Light and Shadow? Yeah. That's kind of a poppy side of the music. It's really easy to listen, catchy song. And the other one was called Bones, and that's a heavier side of Amorphis. So maybe if you listen those 2 songs, you get some kind of idea about the whole album. We have 10 songs altogether, so of course the styles are a little bit different here and there. But if you check out these 2 songs, I think you get sound-wise a great picture about the whole album.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty impossible to just narrow it down to one song to give some sort of an impression from the album, because the songs are fairly different from each other. And but as Tomi said, yeah, those 2 would be maybe the best ones. Maybe the next upcoming single coming out next month is one of those 2. And yeah, overall, yeah, it represents the heavier side and also the sort of more softer side of Amorphis. So.
Was the recording process different from the previous albums?
Yes, of course, it was a little bit different because we had a different producer for this album. and we wanted to change our producer, and we worked this time with a Danish guy called Jakob Hansen. So it was like a new adventure, us as a band. And but on the other hand, I think we did lots of things at the same way we used to. We just did some demos and we send it or put it in the Google Drive, and then we send the whole package to the producer, and he picked best songs at his point of view for the album. And then we started to rehearse the songs and started to compose vocal lines and stuff like that. And we traveled to Denmark as a band to record the drums there. And after that, everyone recorded their own stuff. I did my stuff here in Helsinki, and Santeri also recorded his parts in Helsinki, but I think the other guys traveled to Denmark to final their parts. Of course, it's different to work with different people. It's not the same, of course, but mainly I think we followed the same path as we did with Jens Bugren.
Yeah, I think like from the recording point of view, it was fairly different, and also from the pre-production point of view, I think it was fairly different. Sort of, methods to do, because with previous producer Jens, we used to like bounce back ideas a lot before the recording session, and we had like a very intense pre-production, and a lot of stuff got changed and swapped around and stuff like that. But we didn't really have that this time, and maybe partly because most of the material was very well arranged already, like in the demo phase, and that Jakob just was sort of guiding us along the way during the recording process, like as long as when it comes to my part and stuff. And I feel we maybe had a little bit more sort of artistic freedom this time in the recording process. Lots of ideas coming from our side, and Jakob was just sort of guiding the process and keeping the timeline and doing what producers mainly do. But I think it was in that sense a little bit different. Yeah. More sort of open and free and sort of intuitive session, to my opinion.
Stay with you, and I have to ask you, how do you decide to drive the song with power and when to pull back?
Yeah, well, that's musical dynamics is very important. I guess that it's very song dependent, that some songs perhaps require more drive and more like aggressive sort of output, and some songs might be more subtle in that sense, and of course some songs need more dynamics. I don't know if I can give you a specific answer, like how do we decide those things, because that's mainly, of course, the composer's idea mainly. Sometimes it might be during the recording process or the production process, that we are looking for certain kind of dynamics to give the song sort of like more flow. And but overall, I think it's very compositional aspect of the music. And of course, sometimes, when you take it from the demo part for the band to play, so the band sort of also creates the dynamics, because we've been playing so long, together, and we sort of know like what each other are doing, and I know what to expect, what the other guys are most likely doing, and that also affects the dynamics. And yeah, maybe Tomi has something to add. Also vocals affect that sort of dynamics a lot. Whether it's a growling vocal or a clean vocal, and that also creates a lot of dynamics.
Yeah, that's right. And luckily, as a singer, I have a free hands to do my style. I use cleans and growls on this album. And of course, if the song is really heavy, it's quite obvious that there's gonna be some crawling parts. Not always, but usually it goes like that. And when I pick the final lyrics for the song, of course, it might put also some dynamics there, vocal wise. If there is a story about really aggressive stuff like killing people or something like this, it's quite cool to use really aggressive voice there. And if there is something really beautiful or sad going on, maybe there's a perfect spot to use clean vocal. You never know what happens when you start to record the new album, and when you get the final songs and the final lyrics, it's like a big mystery. And it's really nice that the album is ready now, and I can listen what we did with this album. And just a couple of weeks ago, I listened to the whole album again just to get a picture how it sounds or what we did. And this is I think it's a fantastic album, and there is all kind of feelings and dynamics on this album too.
Which track of the album challenged you the most?
Well, I guess, every song is challenging in its own right, to my opinion. I mean, like, even though some songs might be perhaps, technically or arrange-wise or something, maybe, I mean, there might be more going on than maybe in other songs, but in a nutshell, I would say that, to my opinion, every song is equally challenging, especially when we don't have like that difficult, that progressive parts in our song. It's not very difficult music, and yeah, I would say it's equally challenging to my opinion, Yeah.
Well, for me as a singer, I think I struggled the most with the lyrics, because as you know, we are from Finland, and I have to sing in English, so sometimes the rhythms and the arrangements are quite a challenge for me. The singing itself or crawling, it's not a problem. Technical wise, it's something I've been doing like over 20, maybe 30 years, so that's not a problem. But when you get like 30 new lyrics, and you really have to find the right way to express the lyrics and try to be really strict with the rhythms and stuff like that, that might be sometimes really frustrating, and it takes lots of I have to take it a couple of times and really try to concentrate it. But mostly it's fun, but sometimes struggling with lyrics, it's pain in the ass, to be honest.
Yeah, it's also like, finding a right sort of groove and right sort of kind of feel for the song might be very challenging sometimes, even though it might be very simple, like a fundamental idea, but it's sometimes, finding something that really works for the song, that it doesn't have to be necessarily technically very challenging, but finding like the right sort of pulse and the sort of right kind of feel might be very challenging sometimes.
Um, can you describe with one sentence the new album, Borderland, to the fans?
Just one sentence. It's really difficult, of course, because everyone would like to understand or get like an idea what's the new things here in album. And but I think if I just have to give one sentence, it would be like a well produced heavy metal album.
Yeah, I don't know if I can give one sentence, but I can give like a punch words, like I think it's powerful. I think it's catchy. I think it's emotional. I think it's heavy, and I think it's exciting.
Are you getting ready for the tour?
Yeah, for tour. Yeah, we are actually. There's still like I think um, less than 3 months that we're hitting a tour. We're supporting Arch Enemy in a long tour over Europe, with also wVITw and Gate Creeper on the bill, and it's gonna be exciting. It's a big tour, and it's very nice to finally, get to play the new album and the new, overall to just get out on tour, because we've been mainly just sitting on our asses for past 9 months or something. Obviously, we did the recording, but that's fairly short time, and only like 1 or 2 months that the album is actually recorded, and so we've been obviously doing a lot of promotion now for the record, and but it feels really good to get out on tour and finally play this music live for the people. So I'm personally very excited.
Yes, that's going to be a long and big tour. It's going to be fantastic. As Jan already said, we are opening or supporting Arch Enemy, and it's going to be fantastic. The venues are a little bit bigger than if we normally just headline by ourselves. So it's going to be like a halls or ice halls or something like this. So really looking forward to that tour. I'm pretty sure that we will get some new fans. And after that, we're going to do a tour here in Finland. We're going to play some shows, maybe 8 or 9 shows here in Finland. And the next year, we have 70,000 tons of metal coming, the cruise. Then we have some plans to go to Asia, and all of a sudden it's already summer. I mean, next summer, and we're going to do a lot of festivals around the Europe, of course here in Finland, but also in Europe. And after that, we have some plans to do our own European tour, but we don't have any details about that. But I guess there's going to be like 2 European tours with this album. And luckily, if I would like to come also to your home country, but
Yes,
I cannot say anything. Sure.
I hope to see you in Athens in some festival next year, probably. And I wish you everything to go as you planned.
Yeah. Well, it's always been fun to play in Greece. We usually played Athens along some European tours, sometimes Thessaloniki, and
Yes.
I think we sometimes even played some festivals. Very like way back in the days, and these days I don't know if there's a lot of festivals going on in Greece, but surely would nice to visit one of those. And Greece has always been very nice, and the Greek fans are really enthusiastic and very into it, and it's always been a pleasure.
Thank you again for your time, guys. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.